What up, world? We are back. You know what time it is. It's the Cloud Chronicles. Johnny Blaze, man. You know, we have a special guest here with us today. You saw me on her show a few weeks ago. Shout out to Stephanie on Sinceday3. So I'm getting ready to bring her up onto the screen right now. So everybody, I want you to welcome to the show, big hands, big virtual hand claps for Stephanie, the owner, creator, CEO, boss hog lady in charge, all that good jazz of Sinceday3.com.
Yeah, that's nice. I got a that's awesome. I'm so excited about that.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
No problem. Thank you for joining me. So how's your day going so far?
It's going, you know, just like most people, you know. I'm living my best caftan life. That's what I'm doing. I made me a caftan, the beautiful 70s, you know, house dress-esque type thing that
very
Mrs. Roper wore.
Yes, it's giving me strong moo vibes.
Oh man, and it's the most comfortable thing I've ever lived in. It's like, you know, when Homer Simpson got one and he was like, I'm gonna wear this all the time. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna lay around.
I want to get one of those. Have you seen the Snuggle?
Yes.
Blankets.
Yes. It's kind of like that, I imagine. I feel like they're cut very similarly, probably.
Yeah, I want to get one of those, but I think it's getting a little too warm now. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Texas summer is coming.
Yes.
It has to be. That's why you got to be breezy. You got to be breezy. You know.
Well, I have to find the male equivalent to that. I don't know if that would be, if that's like.
I'm sure that men can have caftans too. I mean, it was the 70s.
A Tommy Bahama shirt or something like that's probably the male equivalent.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah.
So tell the people about your show.
Well, my little podcast, you know, is also Cannabis Focus, which is how we met. Obviously through TikTok and talking about, because we're both big plant fans. TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. But yeah, it's the same thing. Talk about cannabis, but I like to talk to different people in the industry or ancillary people touching the industry. That's a lot like you. So it's just a big industry. I think it's important to talk to the people in it.
Very, very much so. And especially bringing that knowledge down here.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that knowledge and they think it's the devil's lettuce.
Yeah. You know, being in Texas, you know, like you are too, you know, yeah, it's, you know, I think now they were trying to ban smokable CBD and so I need to check and see where we're at on that. I think.
Well, that's cool right now, right?
You can currently have it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, we can do CBD gummies and oils and all that.
Right. See, yeah, we're a hemp state. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're a hemp state. Okay. So, but definitely not. They try to say we have medical marijuana, but that's a lie.
That's a lie. Yeah, that's what we're trying to get.
I would just like it. I would just like any of it. I mean, Texas is now surrounded. You know, Oklahoma has pretty open medical marijuana program in Oklahoma. In fact, if that bill passes, reciprocity, it will allow visitors from Texas to get medical licenses in Oklahoma.
Get the fuck out.
No, it's true. And so Oklahoma's trying to make it, it's called reciprocity, to where then from Texas, we could telehealth into an Oklahoma doctor and a medical doctor, and that Oklahoma doctor can approve us for a medical card. We can go to Oklahoma. And while we're in Oklahoma, you can shop and you can enjoy. You can't, of course, transport over state lines because we are not federally legal, as you know, obviously. And Texas it's a big no-no. From what I hear, there's probably already, you know, state troopers holding up at the border and just waiting for people to, you know, keep trying to pull that stunt.
Right.
But while you're there, you can easily take, you know, I'm going to take a few days off or whatever and go medicate in Oklahoma for a few days. You could do that legally, you know.
Oh,
it's really good times to get friends in Oklahoma if you don't already have any.
Right, and hey, ain't nothing but a short trip.
People you can stay with.
Yeah,
right? It's right up the road,
trip.
Man.
Really ain't nothing but a little short trip for a fun time.
I mean, it is almost tempting enough to even want to live in Oklahoma to get it, but I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, because by the time you get there and get settled, bam. this is then it's going to be legal here.
Oh man, I don't know about it. I think we're gonna hold on till the bitter end, just because that's just so Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Alamo style. So what were like some of the motivations for you to start the show?
Yeah, I like to tell people stories. I mean, I like hearing other people's stories. I guess it's probably the better way to say. I'm always curious about other people and, what brought them to the plant, because, I came to the plant later in life. Or most people I've talked to, or a lot of the people I've talked to, very seasoned. It's maybe something that started in college or even younger or lifelong, whatever. But, I was 38. So I went through a whole, lifetime.
Wow.
I was before, I was a dare kid. I believed all the hype.
I thought I was
the hype. I believe the hype.
For a long time.
For a long time. And also too, it's difficult too, because, I worked on a lot of industries that could either test randomly or things like that. And so you always had that kind of fiduciary overhang of like, we could take away your job and all that other stuff. And my anxiety is just high enough. My anxiety is just high enough to be like, I'm going to be that person. I'm always that exception. I'm always that person. Like, if they're going to randomly drug test, guess who's going to end up getting it? Me.
Right.
Like, so I was like, didn't want to risk it,
No, I completely understand. And that was, many people, I don't blame them at all or, shame them for that. Like, it's just sad that.
I hate that that's the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but, thankfully I got a terminal illness and, and, when I got stage 3 breast cancer, I was 38 and genetic, and they said I had a 23% chance of living to see 5 years. I was like, well, you know what? If I get in trouble with it, are they going to actually take the lady going through chemo to jail? I mean, they probably not, for smoking a J.
Hey, we're going to knock in some wood for you real quick.
Yeah.
You get Officer Karen, who's trying to make an example that day and wants nothing more but to get internet famous for being the cop that took the lady that was just smoking weed for her meds or whatever.
Yeah. And and again, my luck, right, would be that person.
Yeah.
But I did the research first, and I even made sure my doctor knew that I was looking into trying it. And that's actually how the name Sinceday3 came around, is because it was by his suggestion. He wanted me to wait at least until my 3rd day of chemo.
I was going to ask you about that, so I'm glad you talked about that.
That's good. So because people can have allergic reactions or have bad reactions to chemotherapy, especially if it's going to be very strong, which mine was, and so they wanted to make sure my heart could take it, my body could take it. And he said, but once you hit your 3rd day, if you're still feeling bad, he's like, which you will, go ahead and use we called it our homeopathic remedy. And then I tried it there on the 3rd day. My now husband, my boyfriend we were dating at the time, guided me through the process. I had a coach.
Good to have a vet there with you. Always good to have a vet.
Yeah. So he was very helpful. And you have to pull it, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Right. So what do your kids think of you TikToking?
It's I have 2 boys. They're 20s, and my oldest, he's on TikTok as well, and my oldest is very extroverted, and he puts the extra in extrovert, and God love him, he's so bougie, and he thinks it's hilarious in a kind of funny way, like that. Haha, that's my mom,
right.
In a kind of, but I think he still thinks it's kind of cool, because how many people have moms that are like talking about weed and stuff? But my youngest son is in the military, and so while he has a sense of humor, he does, and he thinks it's funny, he can't really be like talking to me about it a lot, you know what I mean, and make it seem like he's advocating for it, because the military is just a real dick about it. So
yeah.
And as a vet, I can say that the government is really weird about shit.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
We do it to ourselves. Yes, we love shooting ourselves in the foot in this country, don't we?
Right, exactly.
We hate progress.
Yeah, we do try to take 10 extra steps backwards when we make that one step forward
all the time.
So on a more positive note,
Yeah.
let me ask you about favorite strands we're going to dive
Oh,
into.
okay. Okay. I'm
Favorite
going to do what
strands.
I
So,
can.
yeah. Now we were talking before we started the recording. There's only so much that we could could have experienced for obvious reasons. We don't need to say.
Yeah.
So
You get what you get.
yeah, you have to get. You have to get. And so other than that, we just have stories from friends in more friendly states, we'll say. And
And whatever research I can get off of Leafly.
yes, hey, that's my go-to.
Leafly is the shit for strain
time,
finding. It really
straight
is.
to Leafly.
I'm like, oh, let's learn about this one. What is the if I'm lucky enough to hear a name? Usually it's just like it's okay, I trust you, buddy.
Yes. I've become more of a strain snob myself.
Yeah.
Because
Get into the terpenes and stuff. You start nerding out.
I want the sativa. That's it. You know what I mean? And if I do get that, I want to know, so I can then dose accordingly.
Most strains on the market today are technically hybrids. I mean, there's nothing that's really a true sativa or a true indica, but a lot of the terpenes make a difference in that. Like, so you probably like a lot of the upbeat terpenes like pinene and limonene, like very kind of citrusy undertones.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So what about you? What about you?
Oh man. Naturally, in life, I'm naturally at an 11. Just all the time. I have CPTSD and I'm neurodivergent. So I'm just always just naturally at 11. So I need to come down. And also for me, just my system needs to be regulated. So I definitely prefer more of an indica, I guess if you wanted to classify it that way. I like linalool, beta-caryophyllene, the more relaxing terpenes. Usually the ones that I prefer tend to be classified as indica dominant. So things like purple Buddha, all the Buddhas, anything in the purples or the blueberries.
So
those all tend to be pretty good.
Are the majority of like the purple and blueberries, are those indicas?
I mean, I don't want to say, I don't want to say because there's really truly most things are hybrids anymore. But but yeah, I think from what I've seen, from what I've tried, and like I said, you get what you get, down in when you're around here. I've not had the privilege of shopping. Have you at a dispensary? Have you been in a legal state and walked in a dispensary before?
I have not yet.
See, now that's the part, Johnny, that I think we need to truly experience.
Right.
Because my niece is a bud tender and she's a grower in the Colorado Springs, and she has been for years. And she sends me these pictures from work, Johnny. I mean, these places, it's heaven. We have to see like labels with like terpenes and percentages. So we're not just having to go to Leafly all the time.
Yes. It looks amazing. And I
feel like that would be the experience that truly separates like really getting to know what you truly love. But
now that you told me about that that Oklahoma thing, hopefully everything goes good with that.
Be like, hey, call the wife, we're going to Oklahoma for a week.
Be nerding out, taking every little thing, every label.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get the Pauls on here, Chip and Cynthia Paul, the people that really created the legislation that's behind making Oklahoma a medical state. It's the nicest people. They have a place of manufacturing in Tulsa, and they do classes once a month where you could take like endocannabinology classes, and they have a whole manufacturing plant there of the medical stuff that they're working in, and you should check that out. I'll have to give you their
definitely get a word in for me, please.
They'd be a good podcast guest for you too.
For sure. So we were on favorite strands. So
sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. What was another one?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I've heard
like
White Widow is great. Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to the dispensary, what do you give me your
honestly
3?
If I was going to go into dispensary on my first visit to a dispensary, because I've never been in one, and just based on what my niece has told me, other bud tenders that I've talked to, what just their experience, I would just, you know what I would do? I would go in there and say, here is what I like. I like, this, I like to come down. These are the terpenes I like. These are the issues I deal with. And for me too, I also like things that are blended. I want to try, like, they have 1-to-1 ratio items. You can get stuff that's got more CBD in it because of balance, which I tend to need for my more medical, just survival.
No,
And so, because they hit different
I,
receptors,
I
they have different
agree.
purposes.
Yeah, I completely agree with how you would handle that. Like, that's literally what I would do too.
Then I would just say, this is
You
what I
think you know,
need.
but you don't, and they
Yeah.
probably way more.
And I just want to be like, show me what you got. Because I want to hear what you have to say. And again, that goes back to me loving to hear other people's stories. I just love info. And which is another reason why I do this, is I think that's be my approach. I would just go in there and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I like, but I'm open because what's out there, I mean, and I bet you they'd have a nice buffet of answers.
Yeah, definitely. I would,
just go in with a whole bunch of money. Just be ready to spend, I think.
Mhm.
And just, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's
my plan.
That's, but hey, I'm like, hey, here's my list.
Yeah, and I see now, Colorado, of course, is adult use, and except for Colorado Springs is medical, but adult use most everywhere else. And
It's recreational.
It's yeah. Except for Colorado Springs, the city itself, they only have medical dispensaries in Colorado Springs.
Mm.
But I think that's just that city is designated as that. But the rest of the state, you can find pretty soon as you cross the border adult use, which is just Are you over 21? Come on in.
Right, exactly. So,
and I think and that's a different experience too than the medical experience, because it's going to be it's going to be different products. You're going to find different things there. I think it's going to be definitely more old school, I think, ideal than the medical version, which tends to cater to the more like a different crowd.
Yeah. Where do you think Texas is as far as like cannabis reform?
Oh,
where do you see us? Like, where do you see us in the next couple of years?
I mean, I would love to say I'm hopeful, but I'm also naturally very much a cynic. And I don't know if that's the Capricorn in me or just, the hard living. You're just like, you want to be hopeful, but then I'm like,
right.
See
who
Texas.
You're dealing with type thing.
Yeah. Right now, like I said, we're a hemp state, which at least we have that much. We have CBD, so people can get CBD, which is beneficial for its own ways. And they say they have medical marijuana, but they really don't. It's just, it's not really a program, but it's just PR. I hope the pressure of being surrounded by states that all have some sort of cannabis law, medical in Oklahoma, medical in Arkansas, New Mexico is about to be adult use. And they currently have medical. Colorado is adult use. And then Mexico just became the largest legal cannabis market. They just voted to make Mexico the entire country.
Viva la Mexico. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's gonna be one hell of a vacation destination real quick.
Yeah, man. Talk about, it was already like a consistent place. Now it's
margaritas and blunts
and mota.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And so, you would think they would say, okay, let's at least cave to the idea that the money. Colorado just surpassed some $3 billion mark or some crap like that. I mean, the amount of money that the states make at least alone, but
right.
That's from what I understand. I heard that. I'm sorry. From what I understand, though, is Texas gets a huge. There's a large lobby for the opioid market in the state.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people who don't want legal cannabis because in places like Colorado, as soon as they legalized cannabis for adult use, opioid use went down by like 25%.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's
if I can solve it with a plan, I'm not going to pick a pill.
Right. That's my motto. That's my motto for sure. Well, listen, before we let you get up out of here, tell me, I got the lightning round real quick. I got a couple.
I love it.
You have not been prepared for, just off the dome.
I love lightning rounds.
Okay, so you just hit the Texas Lotto. What's the first thing you're doing?
Hiring an attorney so nobody knows.
Ooh.
You can have the attorney pick it up for you in Texas.
Really?
Yep. So
I did not know that. That's some good knowledge. That makes sense though.
Because I don't want some, cousins coming out of the woodwork.
Hey, you know what?
Bitch, where you been?
Hey, you know what? I'm not even, because I wouldn't care, because I kind of am to myself anyway. So anybody that comes out of the woodworks and relays, I'm like, hey,
I always thought it'd be, I
they're
always
not
thought
going to
it'd
be hard to spot. They're not going to be hot. New family's not going to be hard to spot around here.
exactly right. Like we pretty
Right.
alone over here, dude. Like we know who's real.
But for other reasons, that's a great idea though. So yeah, that makes sense. You would think about either that or you just could pay somebody. I saw someone pick up their lotto in like full, like you know how they have like a green suit. It was black. It was black though. It was a full black suit and all the way over the head, and they had the eyes cut out, but they had sunglasses on and a hat. And they came and signed and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so nobody would know who it was.
Perfect. See, because my thing is like, if I had that kind of, I know you how you sit around, you're like, if I have lottery money, I'm going to do this. You know, I always thought it'd be cool to just, you know, I want to live, you know, out kind of in the nowhere, you know, legal state, and just be the lady in the moo-moos in the backyard growing weed in her backyard, and then, you know, whatever, and doing charitable stuff, kind of like Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, his wife used to do. She would secretly like pay off people's mortgages or their layaways or whatever, and just do it secretly. Nobody knew until she died, when people were allowed to finally talk about.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Who this, you know, because I like my right hand to know, not to know what my left hand is doing when it comes to charity stuff. I'm not a big like, oh, look at me doing things for the gram, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, so for me, it's just like I like the whole DL idea of it, you know, like get the money on the DL and then do your deeds. And just
I'm the same
ride
way.
it out until you're done.
I would, if I did a big donation like that, like I might let them know who sent it, but like I would decline any type of recognition or awards. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all want to send a tweet, like that's on y'all, but I'm not. Don't ask me to show up for nothing, to receive nothing, or make a speech.
Right? Because that's that's not the point for me.
I'm not gonna make a tweet or a post about it. I'm gonna send you a check. My name gonna be on it because I do want you to know where it came from. But you know,
like, bitch, I wrote this.
Yeah, I don't want you to forget where it is. I work for this, so I work for this. So you know it's coming from me. But you don't have to tell them. But you need to know it came from me. You don't have to tell everybody, but y'all need to know.
Right.
But yeah, definitely, that's a good one. So my last one is you got a superpower.
Ooh.
What's your superpower?
Oh, that's a tough one because I used to try to wrestle between invisibility and flying. I used to think it'd be cool to be invisible because then you could see what, you know, people were saying if you weren't there. But now I'm older and I don't give a fuck. So I'm definitely going to choose flying. Yes. Like, say what you want, bitches. I'm going to go over here. I'm on my way to Morocco. Deuces.
Yeah. Pink, you know what? Mexico sounds good right about pink.
Yeah, Mexico sounds real lovely right about now. It'd be real easy to visit Oklahoma real quick if I could fly.
Yeah, Paris is about a 30-minute flight with these. Let me go ahead and check all that.
Exactly. Deuces.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's a good one. I definitely flight is no arguments with flight, especially after watching the Justice League again. So can't argue.
Right? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Please before we get out of here, tell everybody where they can find you. And if you have like anything else you want to plug, as they say.
Man. Plug away. Definitely come, you know, my site that I blog about all my crap is at Sinceday3.com, but on social it's Sinceday3, but the 3 is spelled out. And it's just a mixed bag, and I apologize.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it so much. Did you have any shout outs you want to give before we go?
No, shout out to all the states who were smart and legalized cannabis.
There you go. That's a good one. Big shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to Stephanie at Sinceday3. Y'all go check her out on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok as well. She's on there doing goofy stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, like I always like to say at the end of the episodes, take care of this. Mental health is real. Take care of this. It'll take care of you. Tell somebody you love them. Drink some water. Peace. Namaste. It's Johnny Blaze, Cloud Chronicles, Stephanie Johnson, Sinceday3. Peace. Love. Cannabis. We love y'all. Bye-bye. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.